This is Gorilla Tag, the holy grail of indie games and also for games that are simple to learn but hard to master. This video will be VR game and software video, and I'll cover everything from Gorilla Tag's launch on the main Quest store, a lot of things about VR games, and major updates within the Meta Oculus ecosystem. We gotta go bananas in this video, so let's get right in. I'm sure 99% of people watching this video have already heard or played Gorilla Tag. It is cool to think about how this indie VR hit has accomplished one of the biggest milestones VR games are able to hit while accomplishing other feats along the way. It is crazy that this game grew to its size and popularity despite only being available on App Lab instead of the main Quest store. You might be wondering why only being available on App Lab matters. Well, when you open the Quest App Store through your phone or within your headset, you see a lot of games that are being promoted, on sale, and even under the most popular games section. All these games are games from the Quest App Store, and you'll notice that no games from App Lab are ever marketed here. Gorilla Tag itself is a popular game, so the name gets spread through word of mouth, but when you have to go into the search tab and search up the game in order for it to show up at the very bottom. Now that Gorilla Tag will be available on the Quest store, just imagine how much more publicity that game will have, especially for the new VR users. Also, keep in mind the holidays are coming up and Meta hosted their holiday Quest 2 sale, so you should see a lot more people getting into VR from Quest, which also fuels the popularity growth for Gorilla Tag as the game is free and new players love free games. Let's talk about the Gorilla Tag accomplishments. As some may know, a very small percentages of games ever make it out of App Lab to the Quest store. There has been other successful games that's already accomplished this, like Ancient Dungeon, but this single transition from App Lab to Quest store is a major milestone on its own. Another thing they did was also insane. So think about the previous point we just talked about and how much harder it is to market the game while it's in App Lab. Compare that to a game like Beat Saber, which you literally see everywhere and might be one of the most known VR games to date. Even though Gorilla Tag has only been on App Lab since March of 2021, the number of reviews has already surpassed 46,000 reviews, which is the highest number of ratings for a VR game on the Quest store, even surpassing Beat Saber. I do understand that since Gorilla Tag is free, more people are willing to give it a shot, but still this is a crazy feat in itself. The game will make its official release on Quest Store on December 15th, so let me know whether you plan to play it or get back into it. Resolution Games is the XR studio known for its popular VR titles including Demio and Ultimex. They just announced that they will be hosting a VR game showcase on December 15th as well that promises major game announcements. Within the VR gaming space, there are not many notable gaming studios that have put out multiple hits after hits, but Resolution Games is one of those exceptions. Resolution Games founder and CEO Tommy Palm are set to show off the games, and he stated that this will be the single largest news day the studio has ever had. This is super exciting to me as they'll be going live on YouTube and Facebook for this event. The next exciting news is that the developers behind Marvel's Iron Man VR, you know, the one that was just released in November, are now planning to make Batman VR app to be released on Quest platforms. Not sure if there are Xbox or PlayStation gamers out there, but Batman games has always been a popular game series with beautiful graphics and suspenseful action-adventure gameplay. As I was looking up past Batman games to talk about in this section, I came across the Batman VR game that was released back in 2017 and available for PC VR. I was kind of surprised as I wasn't aware that there was a game out like this already, but to my surprise, the game was very poorly rated. The new Batman game will be produced by a different studio, so I'm hoping that this one will be as good as Iron Man VR. As the VR Game of the Year awards for 2022 just finished, what was the best VR game of 2022? From the very tough selection, Moss Book 2 takes the crown for the best VR game of the year in 2022. This honestly shouldn't be a surprise to you, even though the games nominated were also very promising. Moss Book 2 is an action-adventure puzzle game where you guide your companion Mouse, quill through tough puzzles and fights that will keep you on your toes. I covered Moss Book 2 in the video with games with the highest rating within the Quest App Store, so you know the VR community was already in love with it. I won't go too much into details since I'm sure many of you heard of the game already, but in case you wanted to check out the other 19 top rated games, I'll leave the link in the top right corner. Now let's shift gears to all of the software updates for products in the Meta ecosystem. The first one is the Quest phone app. The Quest phone app is something everyone's familiar with since the app is required to set up your Quest headset for the first time. No matter how much crap and hate Meta gets from the community, they have been one of those companies that I've seen have implemented features from the community. One of these features is the cast button bar at the top to quickly cast your view from your headset to your phone. On the same bar, you can also view your app library, change headset settings, or type using a keyboard from your phone to VR. It's nothing major, but it is good to see updates on the app since it feels like it never changes and it was kinda getting old. Next is a part of the version 47 update coming to your Quest, which I will make a dedicated video about it, but for now we'll cover these very quickly. As the original Oculus Quest was launched back in the day, the only thing you saw in the home environment was your controller with no hands. Later on, the ghost hands that you're probably used to seeing got added on, and now you'll be seeing your avatar's arm and the torso for the first time at your home at all times. I'm honestly not sure how the community will take this update since not everyone wants to see your Meta avatar, and the arms, which obviously aren't tracked by any sensors. Plus, personal opinion, but I honestly don't mind the ghost hands, so we'll have to see how this one feels once the update is released to everyone. The next of these updates are for my Quest Pro users. You'll now be able to record the physical world full color pass-through in the background of whatever you're recording. It is finally nice to be able to record what you see instead of being blacked out, so even though these are smaller updates, it is nice to have. The last update we have is the new experimental feature. The new feature will allow you to play background audio playback while doing something else. So for example, if you have a podcast playing on YouTube through the Meta browser, you can keep the podcast playing while you play games or work on something else. This is something I didn't think of, but now hearing about it, it would be a super nice feature to have. My hope is that they do refine this feature until we get this as a permanent feature instead of being experimental. As we covered many VR games and software, one game we didn't cover was Among Us VR. This is currently my favorite game out, and I made a video on the 25 tips to win your next game, so if you're a fan as well, feel free to check it out.